When a smug liberal student, known for his relentless anti-conservative rants and self-righteous ideals, tried to humiliate Pam Bondi over her cross necklace in front of a packed university forum, he thought he'd walk away victorious. But just moments later, someone unexpected stepped in, and the entire scene flipped upside down. Trust me, you won't believe how this unfolds. Before we dive into this jaw-dropping tale, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. The student, brimming with overconfidence, swaggered up to the microphone, his voice cutting through the air like a blade as he began. "Phones off, people," he barked, slamming his hand on the podium for dramatic effect. "And don't even think about recording this. I'm not here to be your social media star." His tone oozed arrogance, sending a ripple of tension through the crowd. This wasn't just any event. It was a high-profile debate hosted at a prestigious university, drawing sharp minds, influential guests, and a mix of students eager to witness a clash of ideas. Among the speakers was Dr. Lena Carver, a guest lecturer notorious for her fiery disdain for anything traditional, especially faith. As attendees shuffled to comply, her eyes zeroed in on a delicate silver cross necklace resting against the chest of a poised woman seated near the front. That woman was Pam Bondi. Dr. Carver, adjusting her notes for her talk titled "Reason over Relics Asterisk," couldn't keep her gaze off the cross, her lips twitching with irritation. That small symbol seemed to gnaw at her, and she wasn't about to let it slide unnoticed. The room buzzed as she strutted across the stage, her sharp heels clicking with purpose. "You know," she began, her voice dripping with mockery as she flicked her hair back, "I've faced off with plenty of so-called believers, and they all have this cute little habit, clinging to their superstitions like toddlers to a stuffed toy." A few in the crowd snickered, others squirmed, but Dr. Carver was only getting started. "Tonight's not just about dismantling bad ideas," she said, flashing her first slide with a smug grin. "It's about forging a future free of these ancient crutches that drag us backward." Pam Bondi sat quietly, her pen moving across her notepad, unfazed by the obvious digs. A handful of attendees shot curious glances her way, wondering how she'd handle what was shaping up to be a personal attack. "Some of you," Dr. Carver went on, her stare locking onto Pam's necklace, "still parade around with these relics, thinking they mean something profound." She let out a sharp, theatrical laugh that bounced off the walls. But what Dr. Carver didn't catch was a subtle shift at the back of the room, someone slipping in silently, their eyes fixed on her every move as she geared up for her big moment. "Here's a treat for you all," Dr. Carver announced, yanking a stack of papers from her bag with a flourish. "I've drafted what I call the rational oath, a commitment to reality." Her eyes sparkled with zeal as she waved the document like a trophy. "You're all going to sign this," she declared, her tone leaving no room for debate. She started reading aloud, her voice rising with each line. "I vow to reject irrational myths, to see tradition as a chain on progress, to dismantle obsolete hierarchies, and to bury the fairy tales of divine nonsense for good." The room went dead silent. A few students fidgeted, visibly uneasy with this forced pledge, but Dr. Carver pressed on. "Oh, and don't kid yourselves," she sneered, "thinking your little personal quirks deserve some sacred respect." She began strolling through the aisles, slapping an oath paper onto each desk with relish. "In this space, your fantasies hold as much weight as a child's imaginary friend." As she neared Pam's seat, Dr. Carver slowed, her movements deliberate. The air thickened with anticipation. She dropped an oath paper in front of Pam with a slow, taunting precision. "Fascinating," she said, loud enough for all to hear, "how some people, especially those with a certain pedigree, think they can flaunt old-world nonsense and call it wisdom." She tapped the paper sharply. "Why don't you lead by example and sign first?" The gauntlet was thrown. Everyone held their breath, waiting to see how Pam would counter this blatant jab. The silver cross glinted as Pam glanced at the paper, then met Dr. Carver's gaze. She rose smoothly, her demeanor calm yet unshakable. Despite the venom aimed her way, her voice was steady and measured. "I'll pass, Dr. Carver." The professor's grin widened, sensing an opening. "What's that? Your imaginary sky daddy whispering objections?" A nervous chuckle rippled through the crowd, but most stayed quiet, riveted. "No," Pam replied, her fingers brushing the cross lightly. I just don't sign anything that ridicules what people hold dear, mine or anyone else's. Dr. Carver's smirk faded, replaced by a flash of scorn. Oh, your precious bauble, she said, jabbing a finger at the necklace. Did someone tell you it's a magic charm? Maybe the tooth fairy left it under your pillow? The room tensed as the barbs grew sharper, but Pam didn't flinch. This cross, she said, holding it gently, stands for a sacrifice made for everyone here, including you, Doctor. Dr. Carver threw her head back with a loud, mocking laugh. How quaint. Do you also leave cookies out for elves? She spun to the audience. This, folks, is the mental rot we're here to scrape out of academia. But Pam wasn't done. You talk a big game about freedom of thought, yet you're bullying people into signing your manifesto. Doesn't that strike you as hypocritical? Dr. Carver's face flushed. How dare you challenge me, she snapped, her cool cracking. This isn't about freedom. It's about yanking deluded minds like yours into reality, kicking and screaming if I have to. As her volume spiked, that figure at the back edged closer, watching the showdown intensify. Let me spell it out, Dr. Carver hissed, leaning toward Pam's desk. Your quaint little faith has no business here. That cross, it's as useful as a paperweight. A collective gasp swept the room. She wasn't holding back. I'd wager you're just coasting on connections. Someone with your outlook couldn't possibly belong here on merit. Pam's eyes narrowed slightly, but her voice stayed even. My faith doesn't make me less capable, Doctor, just as your disdain doesn't make you smarter. Dr. Carver's expression twisted into fury. Oh, clever now, are we? I bet you're flunking out. How could a myth chaser keep up? Before she could finish, a deep voice cut in from the side. Pam's one of our top performers. The room froze as a tall, authoritative figure stepped forward. Dr. Carver blinked, caught off guard. And you are? Dean Marcus Holt, he replied, his tone firm enough to make her flinch. I run this university and I'm troubled by what I'm seeing. Troubled? Dr. Carver scoffed, scrambling to recover. That I'm calling out the nonsense poisoning our system? No, Dean Holt said coolly, that a guest speaker is more focused on intimidation than education. She straightened, defiant. Intimidation? I'm enlightening them, and you've got no say over me. I'm not your employee. True, the dean conceded, but your university might care about this display. Dr. Carver waved it off. This is just a snowflake and her babysitter trying to stifle me. I won't bow to dogma. Freedom, Pam interjected, her voice cutting through. Is that what you call shaming people into abandoning their principles? Dr. Carver whirled on her. You little... Doctor, Pam warned, her tone steady. I'd watch my next move if I were you. Or what? Dr. Carver roared, her face reddening. You think you're untouchable? I'm the one in charge here. No one overrides me. Not you. Not him. Not your storybook savior. Doctor, Pam started. Quiet, Dr. Carver bellowed. I'm sick of your sanctimonious... Doctor, Pam said again, pointing up. Don't you dare gesture at your clouds, Dr. Carver spat. I'm not here for sermons. Actually, Pam said calmly, I mean the cameras. Dr. Carver's bravado faltered as she followed Pam's gaze to the ceiling, spotting the blinking lenses. Cameras? She croaked, then erupted. Who approved this? I banned recordings. Doctor, Pam said, unflappable, are you more upset about being caught than about harassing people over their beliefs? This is a trap, Dr. Carver stammered, her confidence unraveling. You set me up to ruin me. Your ruin, a new voice boomed as a woman strode down the aisle. Seems self-inflicted, Dr. Carver. The professor spun, paling as she recognized the figure. Dean Olivia Reed, why are you here? I'm from your university, Dean Reed replied sternly, and this isn't the first time your tactics have raised red flags. Red flags? Dr. Carver laughed weakly. From a few fragile egos who can't handle truth. Truth? Dean Reed arched a brow. Like driving out students like Tara Lynn last year, or James Carter before that, or the handful who quit because you punished their convictions? Dr. Carver's jaw worked silently. She pointed at Pam. You orchestrated this. No, Dean Reed said. We've been tracking your pattern for months. But when Tara reached out to Pam, she did something bold. She agreed to face you here, knowing you'd pounce, to reveal what you've been doing. Dr. Carver's mask shattered. This is ridiculous. I'm a scholar. I've got citations for days. Credentials don't justify tormenting students, Dean Reed shot back. The cameras? My call. We needed proof of your coercion. Proof? Dr. Carver's voice cracked. For what? For your board, Dean Reed said. They'll love hearing how you strong-arm students into your ideology. It was symbolic, Dr. Carver protested. Symbolic, Pam cut in. Until students signed out of fear? How many caved just to survive your class? Dr. Carver lunged toward Pam, venom in her eyes. You entitled brat! You think your necklace and your clout can undo my work? No, Pam said evenly. You undid it yourself. I just turned on the spotlight. Security, remove Dr. Carver, Dean Reed ordered. Officers appeared at the doors. You can't, Dr. Carver shrieked, backing up. This is censorship. You're scared of my brilliance. She pointed at the signed oaths. You who signed, tell them it was voluntary. Actually, a student stood, tearing her oath apart. I signed because you tanked my grade for mentioning my beliefs. You docked me for citing a hymn, another added. Voices rose, each exposing Dr. Carver's reign of intimidation. Her face blanched. This is your legacy, Pam said quietly. Not your lectures, but the spirits you tried to crush because they dared to differ. Dr. Carver glared at her. You think you've won? I've got allies everywhere. This isn't done. Enough, Dean Reed snapped. Leave now, or your board sees your threatening emails too. Defeated, Dr. Carver slumped as security closed in. I was liberating them, she cried. These beliefs stifle progress. Progress? Pam countered. Tara Lynn's now mentoring students against bullies like you. James Carter runs a thriving ethics forum. You didn't break them, you forged them. Students stood, sharing their scars from Dr. Carver's wrath, each stronger for it. Every time you attacked, Pam said, you built resilience. You didn't kill faith, you fueled it. Dr. Carver's final rant died as she was led out. Your tenure's over, Dean Reed called. Clear your desk by morning. As she vanished, Pam stood tall, her cross shining, a beacon of defiance and grace. Dean Holt addressed the crowd. This university stands for all beliefs. Freedom means honoring convictions, not crushing them. Dean Reed added, victims of Dr. Carver, your records will be fixed. Those she drove away come back. Cheers erupted. Students thanked Pam, awed by her stand. Tara sparked this, Pam said humbly. You who endured, you're the heroes. A girl asked, weren't you afraid? Pam smiled, touching her cross. Silence when others suffer, that's scarier. This wasn't about one bully, Pam told the room. It's about proving faith and reason coexist. You can excel and believe. Dean Reed nodded. New rules will protect every student's conscience. As people dispersed, Pam's cross gleamed brighter, a testament to standing firm. You could have leaned on influence, Dean Holt murmured. Why face her? Pam grinned. Sometimes you show the world how to fight, with strength and heart. And so, a professor who mocked faith learned a hard truth. Real power lifts up, not tears down. Share your thoughts below.